So last time we have seen permissions, about the permissions, uh, how the permissions are given, how we, what are the permissions, what is R, what is W, what is X, read, write, execute, what are the numbers associated to those permissions. Okay, so when we give like 444, 666, 777, these are the kinds of permissions, and how we give them, we have seen that how we allocate the permissions using the umask value. Okay, so we have seen the umask value as well, how to change a umask value, then standard values for giving a permission. See, this is R, W, X, read, write, and execute. Okay, example, if a file is having permission like rwx, rwx, r-x, means first rwx is for user, second is for group, third is for others. So here, read, write, execute, all the permissions are there for the user. That is 7. Why? Because read is 4, write is 2, execute is 1. So total of 7. For the group, similarly for the group, RWX, that is 7. But here there is no W, only R and X. So 4 plus 1, 5. Only read and execute permissions for the others. Okay. So this is for directory, this is for file. Now, I told you whenever you see a permission for the directory, there will be a D written over here. Before, there will be a D written like this. But in case of file, nothing, there will be nothing. D means directory. Okay. For file, there will be no letter, only the permissions. Now, we can give permissions like this. Chmod is the command to change the permission. Chmod. Okay. So
Yeah.
changing, and also you can change permissions using alphabets also, like chmod plus R. That means read permission to all. All means users, groups, and others. Chmod, if you can give like this also, UGO. Okay, so
User group.
others, right? Permission will go to user group and others. In case of write permission, what happens, like if you give using the alphabet write permission, so by default write permission applies to only user and groups, no others. Read permission can apply to all, but by default write permission will apply to users and groups only. So chmod plus W. But if you want to give write permission to all, what you have to go? UGO. You have to write that UGO plus W. Now for directories, chmod 700 test, this command will give permission to only the directory and not the files inside it. Okay. So first one, like for 700 means 7 is the permission to user, use groups and others 00. Okay. And chmod 700 test will only give the permission to directory only. Okay. But if you want to give the permission to all the files inside the directories, then you have to use -r. -r means recursive. Okay, means all the files inside all the directories inside that directory will have the same permission. We have seen that practical and all. Okay, we have done that. Now, if you want to change the ownership, so if you want ownership of a file, so there's a command chown. Okay, and this will be executed using root user only. So wherever which command which is executed using root user will be having a hash before that. Okay.
Mhm.
This read permission, chmod and all you can give through normal user. But wherever a hash is written means only root user can. Okay, only root user can execute that. So ch own means change owner. Ch own means change owner. Please be in mute.
Who is that?
Nice. So if you want to change the ownership of a file, that is ch own means change owner. Okay. Change owner, or you can say change user also.
Ch on. Okay.
Ch means change, own means own.
On.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is the command ch own.
Yeah.
So ch own. Say if there is a directory called oh, so if there is any file, okay, and that file is the owner of the file is say Azure user. So because I'm logged in as an Azure user in my Linux, but I want to change it to the root. I want to change it to the root owner. I want to transfer the ownership to the root user. So what I'll do, change chown root devops.txt is the file, and you need to execute this command as a root user. Now, as of now in this system, we have only two users. So if I do an ls, see these are the files and all. There are two like Azure directories there, then DevOps, then test. Okay, but as this is a home directory of Azure user, if I go one step back here, inside the home directory, you can see there's Azure user. Okay, so one user is in the system is that I'm using this. So my username is Azure, as I have given while creating this virtual machine. So that is Azure user. So another user is the system user, which is a root user. Okay. So now if I want to transfer this, if I want to transfer this, if I do ls hyphen l, can you see the user and group? Okay. Can you see devops.txt file? Can you see this?
Yeah. Yeah.
DevOps.txt file. Okay. So first is the user. See Azure user. Second is the group. So Azure user group. Okay. So by default, when a user is created, along with that, a group is also created. Okay. So Azure user is the user and Azure user is the group also. Now I cannot change the ownership. This is the ownership, defining the ownership. I cannot change the ownership using this. Okay. Now if I execute chown command using the this normal user, chown say I want to transfer it to the root user. So I'll type root chown root, and I have a file called devops.txt. So I'm changing the ownership. Let's see. Changing ownership of devops.txt operation not permitted. So operation is not permitted using the normal user. What you have to do? You have to change the user to the root. So what is the command to change the user to the root? How you will switch to the root user? What is the command? Don't see the note.
ch
No,
ch
I want to run a command using a root user. How I can switch to the root user? Sudo su hyphen. See, now I'm switched to the root user. Chown root and then devops.txt. Now there is no file over there in the root directory, because why? Because we are in the root directory. So if you do an ls, see, we are in some other directory. It's now we are in the root directory. Now if we do, and now you can go to the home, and inside the home you can go to the Azure user. Now if you can see, there's a file called devops.txt. Now let's run that. Wait, let's check the permissions also first. Sorry, ls hyphen l. Can you see the permission, right? Of the devops.txt as of now. Azure user, Azure user. Now let's change it. Chown root devops.txt. Again do ls hyphen l. What you can see, as of now I've only changed the user. I have not changed the group.
Yes, is root
Okay, so
user.
user is changed to root now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this way, using the root user, you can change. Now what if I want to change the group? So if we want to change the group, okay, so there is a command called chgroup. chgrp. Now by default there is a group inside Linux. For example, there is a wheel group. Okay, this is a default group created by system. Okay, so chgroup wheel uh, devops.txt. Let's see. So maybe this is not in the invalid group. Okay. Wait. Uh, let's go to the root directory only. So as of now, you can see in the root directory, there is a group called root. Okay. So let's change that file to the root group only. Let's add to that root group only. So let's go to that path again, cd. And as of now, we are in the root. So let's go back and then cd. And then sorry. Let's execute that again. Now instead that this group. Hmm. Can you see? Change the group as well. Okay, ch group command.
Mm-hmm.
So root and root. So if you want to change the group, the commands will be same here. Now this not only file, directory also. Here also directory. Now let's see one more command as well here. Copy command. Okay, copy command. So there's a command called cp, simple cp. Cp command. Example, what we can have. Let's say there is a file called devops.txt, same file, or let's create a new file. Okay, uh, we'll have some file called test1.txt. Okay, and we'll move that file to the DevOps directory. Okay, so let's see, we can do that. So let's switch back to the normal user. So we'll press and exit over here. So we have been logged out and we are in our home directory only. Okay, so let's create a file like touch test1.txt, and we created this file here only. Okay, in the home directory. Now let's move this file test1.txt to the DevOps under DevOps. So cp command, right? Cp copy test1.txt where DevOps. So you will be having a copy of it here also, but you will be having this is a copy command. There's a difference between copy and move. Okay, so this is a copy command. It will copy the file to the directory. Now if you go and inside DevOps, see test one is there. Now if I move it, there is one more command called the move command. So mv test dot txt. Where to move? Let's move it to Azure. Let's move it to Azure. Can you see now? Test1.txt. No.
Yes, gone.
Yeah, it's gone because it is moved. So
Yeah.
there's a difference between copy and move. Copy means you will be having a copy of where you are copying, you will be having a copy there also, and in the home directory also from where you copied. But in the
Mm.
move, it will move the file to the other directory.
Yeah.
To move it, you will not have a copy on the last location. Okay, after moving
Mm-hmm.
the file. So if you see inside Azure directory, so you will be having a file test1.txt. So that is, and there is one more thing. Move command you can use two ways, for moving a file as well as for renaming a file. So if I want to rename a file, so let's go inside Azure only. So we have a file here called test1.txt. Now, if I want to rename it, so move mv command uh, test1.txt, and I want to say rename it to uh, Azure user.txt. Let's enter this. We have renamed the file. Okay. Test1.txt has been renamed to Azure user.txt. Got it? So move command can be used in two ways. First for renaming, second for moving. So let's write it here. This is a copy command. So we have copied. Okay. Copy test1.txt to DevOps directory. Second is move command. MV. This is used in two ways. So first is to rename a file or directory. So you can use sample mv test1.txt to Azure user.txt. Will change the file name from test1.txt to Azure user.txt. And second is to move the file or directory. Just here. So move it to Azure directory. will move the file name in the file test1.txt from home from user home directory, sorry, from normal user directory to Azure directory. That is a copy command, is a move command, and move command you can use in two different ways. You can move and rename. Okay. So if I ask a question, what is the difference between like copy command and move command?
One will change the file name, Abhishek.
No. There are two different things you can do through move command.
Okay.
One is renaming, second is moving.
Okay.
So now in context of moving using the move command, if I say what is the difference between a CP command and move command? So like there's a question that will like that can arise or something like so.
You copy the file to the directory.
So
Copy will create the two copies in
in comparison to say Windows, CP is got it what I'm saying?
Yeah, Abhishek. Yeah. It is only copy.
Control plus X means cut paste, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
And Control V is copy paste. Got it? What is the difference?
Yeah.
I'll write it here. Okay. Sorry, I'll write it MB here. MB. So anyone can ask questions like this. Okay. Now let's move to some other command as well. Okay, just practice these commands. Okay, just practice these commands.
Abhishek, this DevOps is under this DevOps and test1.txt are and same level, right? CP test.
Where
CP test1.txt in copy, then
we are copying a test1.txt from user home directory, okay, to DevOps directory. So DevOps directory is in same level of test1.txt. Okay.
if at all any I mean the path of DevOps directory or test directory can be done like.
See, from where you have to move that file, you have to go to that path.
Okay.
Okay.
What I meant is like Abhishek, like test one, if at all it is in some hierarchy of this thing, right? And
Yes, you
above.
cannot move from any other place if like see if I go here, see there is a file called azureuser.txt here. Now I go back to one level down.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I want to move that Azure user.txt, can I move from here? No,
No.
I have to go to that level, then I can move. Okay.
Mhm.
Last time relative path you have mentioned, no, in the I think maybe above few lines above, not in this in that no notepad, Abhishek.
Okay. Yeah. Here.
Even more top.
Yeah. Absolute path and relative path.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. That can we apply here?
Yeah. Okay. We can apply here. See, for example, this Azure user.txt is here. Okay.
Right.
So if I go to cd dot, sorry, Azure, that directory, I'll go to Azure here. Now I have a file Azure user.txt.
Okay.
As of now, I'm moving this directory here in the, you can say, absolute path.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm moving in the absolute path. Now, if I want to move it somewhere in the relative path, somewhere in the relative path. So what I can do, I can see, I can use a CP here
Mhm.
and Azure user dot txt. Let's take some relative path first. Okay. So there is a temp directory inside the root, right? There's a temp directory. Let's move it to temp. Now here we will not use, see, if I want to copy this inside some, say there was a, you know that inside DevOps, there is a Linux directory also we created,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So if I want to copy this to Linux, so I'll do it like this. Like first I'll go to,
Okay.
yeah, first I'll go to DevOps and then I'll go to Linux. Or even I have to come from way back, like from where? First, I have to write home, then I have to write Azure user. Like this, I have to copy, right?
Yeah.
So this is something called, you can say this is something called absolute path. So now if I copy here, now let's move back. Let's go to home, Azure user, and then let's go to DevOps. Okay. And then let's go inside Linux. Can you see we copied Azure user? And what we have used? We have used this slash home slash Azure user slash DevOps slash Linux. We have used this
Okay.
relative path. Okay. Now if I go back and if I go to Azure directory, sorry. Here we have that file. Now I want to move it to some relative path. So what I'll do it like this. I'll do a CP. What is the file name? Azure user dot txt, and I have to move to a relative path. So I just go to, because relative path is somewhere back in the root directory only. That is a temp directory. So I'll directly give the temp. Let's see it is copied or not. So we'll move back again. Let's go to temp. snap private temp. Move that to temp, right? TMP. Where is that file gone?
Did it copy?
Yes. We are using a copy command only, so it will copy only. It will not move. No, why it didn't copy it? Because slash is handled by root, right? That is root directory,
Okay.
right? So it's like that. You have to go back to home and our user. So we'll go back to sorry, Azure. Here was the file, right? Why it didn't copy it? Because we are copying it to the relative path, and copying a file to the relative path will be needing a root user, right or wrong?
Yes, yes. Root
So,
user.
yeah. So sudo su hyphen, if you do, you will switch to the root user. Now you have to go again to that path, like slash home slash Azure user slash Azure. See, this file is there. Now you can use that command, copy command, which you used. It will not work. We'll use copy and then Azure user dot txt. And what was the relative path here? Temp, right?
Yeah.
Now again you can go to
Temp.
where is the file gone? I think we need to create some directory because it will not take.
How about echoing that? I mean, there is some method, right? What is it?
Pardon?
How about echoing that? I mean, message we were getting, right? Once we created, what was that?
Acknowledging.
Acknowledging.
Okay, echoing.
I did not practice.
I was
Abhishek, that's
thinking,
the reason.
what is echoing? What to do?
Echoing means echo something. I was
No.
Python, right?
Wait. So mm, let's create a directory here first. Mkdir test. Okay. Okay, a test directory is created. Now, if I go back to slash home slash Azure user slash where to go? Azure. Now, if I go, here's the file. Okay. Home. See what it did. It moved the file to here. It created a directory here, temp directory, because we are performing that in the same location, and it is treating it as a home directory, as a like on the same level it created. Can you see the temp directory, TMP? Inside the Azure. Okay. CD temp. Sorry. Why I cannot go this temp directory? It is Because that is created by root user. So let's wait. We have created a test directory over there. So let's use copy command now. It will copy now. Okay, in the cp. What is the file name? Azure user dot txt. Now it will copy to temp, and inside temp we have created a test. Again, creating. Current directory we can move. See what happens, like absolute path starts from root directory, right, slash, and relative path starts from the current directory. So maybe we cannot move from here if we have a file somewhere in the uh, current path, from the current path. So like as we are having a file over here, and we are definitely we are making some mistake over here, copying a file like to the temp in the relative path. cp copy Azure user. It should copy. It is not. I'm not sure. Azure user.txt. It should copy to the relative path. And relative path is the temp directory. Slash under temp test. Now it copied. Okay, means there is a difference. Like you cannot access, like if I'm on the same level, if I'm on the same level, I don't have to give that root. You understand what I'm saying? Hello? No answers. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm going to the home and Azure user. Inside the Azure user, I go to Azure directory. We have a file over here, azure user.txt. Now, if I create a directory over here, if I create a directory over here, means I'm creating a directory called like mkdir, and I'm creating this directory. See, now this is a directory. Now I'm on the same level. File is also on the same level. Directory is also on the same level. Now, if I want to move this directory to inside that, okay, or go inside this, okay, create one more, okay, mkdi, and say now come back to the same level. Now I want to move, and the file is also on the same level and the directory is also on the same level. I want to move inside Abhishek and Pankaj. So I can give like this, copy and Azure user.txt. Now I don't have to use that path slash and all. Okay, I can directly do that. to Abhishek and inside Pankaj. Now, if you go inside Abhishek and Pankaj, can you understand the difference now? Relative path and absolute path. Now we have copied this file to the relative path because the relative path works in the current directory only. Got it? Got it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Relative path always works in the current directory. And absolute path will always work using the root. Okay. Without root, you cannot copy. So if you want, so whole, you can say summary is that if you want to copy some file to some other folder in some other directory, you have to follow the absolute path. But if you want to copy some file which is in the same level of that directory, means in the same level you have the file also, in the same level you have the directory also, then you can use relative path. Okay, got it? So I'll write here about absolute and relative path. Okay, so that no confusion will be there. So I'll write a note here. Note. Absolute path. Starts from root. This means root directory. And relative path starts from current directory. Or I can say current path. In the bracket, you can say current directory. Now it will be clear, right? If I want to display some words in the file, so want to display words in a file, want to display words in a file. So there is a command called wc command. And you can run it as a root. How you will run? So wc and file name. Where I'm not putting hash. Okay, where I'm not putting hash means you can run that as a normal user. But where I'm putting hash means definitely you have to run that as a root user. So word count file name. And you can use it three ways, like wc -l. Now this is for number of lines. Then wc -w This is for number of word count. Number of word count. And then WC hyphen C. What it can be?
Characters.
Yes, correct. Number of characters. Okay, this is a W. Is it okay if I don't try each and every command? Just practice it, okay? And if you have some doubt, then you can discuss in class, okay? Because these commands are you can try it by yourself. Main commands we have already tried, okay? Right or wrong? If you want me to try, I'll try. No worries.
Oh, that's okay, Abhishek.
Yeah, just go through. Okay, just go through. Now, how to link? Okay, so how to create a link? Link. So ln command is there. Ln command. This I'll show you. Okay, ln command. So say we have a file called azure.txt. Okay, so link. We had a file name called Azure user. Let's create one more file, test2.txt, and let's link this to somewhere in the temp, and just create a link, ln test.txt.
Is this shortcut?
Yes, correct. Creating a link is a shortcut. Okay, if I want to access some file which is inside some like directory, like on the 6th level or 7th level, but I want to access that file here outside in the home directory, I can create a link in the home directory and I can directly access that file from the home directory. Okay, so say here, this is the example, and
Can show some example.
yes, I'm showing that. No worries. So let's go out. Sorry, let's go to home. Then manage your user. Let's exit from here first. Okay. Now let's create a file called test2.txt. We had a file with us. Okay. And let's do ls-l. As of now, we can see we have a file called test2.txt with Azure user as a user and Azure user as a group with permissions like read, write, and execute. Means 664. So now we'll create a link here. Now we'll create a link. Now let's see. So I'm doing this ln command and test2.txt. And say I want to access this, I'm working in my temporary directory or somewhere and I have to access it over there. So I'll go to my temp. Inside temp, I have a test, and inside test, I want to create a link, ln test dot txt. What happened? Permission denied. Okay.
TXT is required, Abhishek, right?
Pardon?
For shortcut, is TXT required? I mean, extension?
Yes, yes. Because it is for a file. It is not for any service or something.
Okay, okay. Folder. Okay, fine. Done.
So this we cannot execute. We have to switch to the root user because we are copying it into the temp directory. So we'll be using a root user there. Now we have to go to home and Azure user. Now here we have the file test2.txt. Now we can have ln command with us, test2.txt, and we have to copy this to temp. Inside temp we have to copy it in the text, and ln test, say for example ln test.txt. Now let's move back to temp and inside test, sorry, test. Can you see the link ln txt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can create the link and you can access all the data what is there inside that file. Okay. You can obviously edit that file. You can put some data inside the file and you can check. And if we update something here, if we update something, like if I do vi ln tst.txt, my name is, sorry, okay. Sorry, let me escape :w2 exit ln tst.txt. Can you see what is it is displaying? My name is Abhishek. Now let's go back to the home and Azure user. There's a file test2.txt. What it says, test2.txt. Can you see? So a link was created over there as a lntst.txt, and whatever I'll update. So see, there's a file in 6 levels. Okay, there's a file in the 6th level, and I create a link in the home directory only, and I don't have to go again and again to that file to update something. Okay, so I can update the everything inside that link only, which is in the home directory or the temp directory if I'm working in the temp directory. Okay, so this, when we create this, like as I always say, I always work inside the home directory, user home directory, normal user, that is mine, like Azure user. And there is a file inside the 6th level of any directory, like say there is a DevOps directory, then inside that there is a Linux directory, then inside, oh, let's we can say this, if I execute a tree command over here, can you see this tree? Okay, structure. So see, I am working inside my user home directory here, where you can see the dot. Can you see that dot at the top?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I always work in the user home directory. But if there is some file inside Pankaj, like azure user.txt, and I always use that file, I always want to update that file. And I have to go again and again. I have to follow the absolute path again and again and again. So what I can do, I can create a link for that azure user.txt. For example, I can create a link.txt here in the home directory. Now, whatever I'll update here, it will directly get updated here in this file. Got it? What is the use of link?
It's similar to desktop or somewhere shortcut kind of.
Yeah, shortcut. Okay. So mostly this type of shortcut we use for some, you can say I have a service running over, like I have a web service running. Now that web service, so if I go to root, inside the root, you can see a web server will run inside the var. Okay. So if you go inside the var, there is a folder called www. Okay, there is a folder called www. Now inside that www, you will be having your web server running. Say Nginx is there. So you will be having Nginx running over there. Now, if I want to start and stop Nginx service, so what I need to do, I have to again go to that inside var, inside www, inside whole directories, and I have to go there and start and stop the service. Would I prefer to do that? No, right? Why I'll go? I'm working in my user home directory and I'll go again and again and again and again. So what I can do, I can create a link of that service where I can create inside my home directory, and directly from my home directory, I can run the command. What command? Service start Nginx. But if I won't create a link over there, what I have to do? If I won't create a link, then again I have to go inside this and inside var, and after going there, I have to run that command to start Nginx service. So to save the time, I'll create a service link over here in my home directory, and from my home directory only, I'll call again and again, like stopping the service, starting the service. Okay, like this. So main work is for managing the services, for managing the files. If those files are inside some directory, some like fifth or sixth level or fourth level, so you don't have to again go to that path and start and stop the service or again update the file. You can directly create a link in your user home directory and you can directly access those services or files from there only. That is the main work of link. Got it?
This is called soft link. Yeah?
Yeah. There are two kinds of link now, hard link and soft link. Okay. So there's one more thing. Mm, hmm. Let's see one more thing here. A total of two links. Okay, wait. Let's go back to Can you notice one thing here, like 1 and 2? Hello?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
So for Azure user.txt, we have not created any link, right?
Yeah.
And for ln.test.txt, we have created the link. So you have these files at two places. Means two links are there.
Azure user, Azure user.
No, this one, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So ln.test.txt is also having one file called test2.txt, which is running somewhere in the user home directory. And you have created a link here in the temp directory. So that's why it is showing 2. If I delete this link, it would have shown me 1 only. Okay. So let's try to delete this. If I rm-rf lntst.txt. No, it will not delete because I've created using the root user. So I have to switch back to the root user to delete this. Now go to cd temp test. Rm hyphen rf lntst.txt. Okay. Now there is no file. Let's go to cd /home /Azure user. Can you see the link now? 1. Because we deleted lntst.txt. Got it?
You mean to say reference also it is counting as a file, or what is that?
Yes. Okay. At two places you have that. One is the original one, second one is your link. Okay. So now we have deleted the link, so it is showing 1 only. Earlier here it was showing 2. Here it was showing 2. Now here it is showing 1 after deleting the link.
So in that case, the Azure DevOps, the above files are directory also in 3 places.
Somewhere, some at the other place in the system, there will be links.
Okay.
Okay.
If you delete the main file, I mean complete link also will go, right? Or link will be there.
Yeah. If you delete the main file, then link will also be gone.
Undo command is available or not there, Abhishek?
Undo command is not there. I think there is a different command for that. So if you lose something, in Linux or delete something, you cannot recover that until unless you created some copy of that. Okay, we discussed this thing, I think 2-3 classes before, right?
Yeah.
So there is one thing here I'll write. If you update the original file or link file or original file, the link will get updated. Okay. In the same way, and vice versa. And write vice versa. If you update the link, then you will update the original file. And if you want to differentiate, like now you can create with same. Okay. So for differentiating between the two, you have a inode number. Okay. So you can differentiate with different numbers. You will be having a inode number. For hard link, in original file, both will have same inode. For soft link, soft link is also called symbolic link. Similar to the shortcut which you mentioned in Windows. This I can write kind of a shortcut. For ln-s. And example can write ln-s. For example, there's a direct file called test3.txt. Can create a ln soft link. Now in the soft link, what happens? If you delete original file, soft link also gets deleted. This is not the case in hard link. Okay. So in the hard link, this is not the case. You can try this. Okay. This is the difference between a hard link and a soft link. You have seen that VI editor is there for editing the file. VI space file name. File will go in command mode. And if you want to edit that file, you have to press I. So for editing the file, press I. Will go to insert mode. Press escape. Will go out of insert mode.
In calling, both will have same inode number. That means inode means
Inode number I told you.
Mhm.
Can you see some numbers on the first?
Yeah.
These are inode numbers.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to save a file, or I'll not write this. I'll write colon W Q to save and quit. Colon W Q exclamation to save and quit forcefully. Now in your organization, don't use this exclamation. Okay. Never use this as a working professional. Got it? Both will give same result, but never use exclamation. Q. This is quit without saving. Okay. So for editing the file, you can use these. I to insert mode. Once everything is done, you can press escape to go out of insert mode. After out of insert form below. Okay, so only after coming out from insert mode by pressing escape, you can perform this. Means WQ means write and quit. If you press quit, quit without saving. So there is other editor also, or you can have VIM editor. This is an advanced editor. Okay. So advanced version of VI. So how is it as advanced? So below functions are different in VIM. What functions? To display line numbers in a file. So for displaying line numbers in a file, what you can do here? You can press this key, and after this, so if you are insert mode, after pressing escape, what you can do? You will write colon SE NU. SE means set, NU means numbers. So this means set numbers. So it will give numbering to your file. Okay, number of steps. Now, if I do one more thing here, colon SC no NONU means no numbers. No numbers. We'll see this. Okay, no worries. And these above steps will only work in command mode. So let's see some file. What is the command to check the hidden files?
LA.
Checking from the notepad.
No, sir. I was on mute. I was on mute actually.
No worries. So these are some files like bash RC is there. So I can see if I do a bash RC. See, as of now, can you see any numbering here in the file? No?
No.
No.
Okay. VIM. Let's check this VIM editor. Okay. So if I use VI first and dot, will I be able to open this file?
No.
Yes, I think.
We are in the home user directory. Okay. We cannot open root user bash RC file. Okay. But we can open normal user bash RC file. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So we are in the command mode. Now let's see if I press colon here and set numbers. So maybe in Ubuntu it is advanced, so we can use with VI also. Okay. In Red Hat, VI editor doesn't works like this. And Red Hat, you need to use VIM editor. As of now, we are using VI also in your Ubuntu. So maybe Ubuntu is advanced now. So it is using this. So see, it has set the numbers for you, right? So you
Yes.
can have line numbers here. So colon, and this, don't execute this in the insert mode. Don't press I. Use this command in the command mode only. It will work in the command mode. So colon SENU, that is set numbers. So it has set the numbers for you here. And colon SENU. See, no numbers. Got it? Got it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is the difference. If you will go to the Red Hat machine, you will find difference. With the VI editor, you will not be able to give the numbering. Here in the Ubuntu, you can give it through VI editor also. So depends on the flavor of the Linux or who is providing you the Linux operating system. Okay.
Can we keep it till here, sir?
Pardon?
Can we keep it till here?
Yes, it's 9:30 already. Okay, just practice all these things. We'll continue tomorrow. Like there is only shell scripting thing is only left. We'll start with tomorrow shell scripting. Okay, or some
Yes,
more
sir.
commands are still left. Only just one or two commands. Okay. So shell scripting will take 1 or 2 days to complete, and then we'll complete the Linux part, and then we'll start with GitHub. Okay. This is important part in Azure DevOps. No one teaches Linux and all. Just to make sure that your basic will be strong, I'm teaching this. Otherwise, I'll not. Okay.
Yeah, but this was very informative, sir.
Yeah. So now what you can do, if anyone can ask, if you go apply for some interview as a Azure DevOps, someone may ask that, do you know scripting and all? Do you know Linux? You can say, yes, I know that. Okay. Learning these things. But practice. Until you practice, you won't get it.
Oh.
Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow then. Let's stop this machine. Also, let's stop the recording.